फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। आज जिस टॉपिक पे मैं वीडियो बना रही हूँ वो है बीए ऑनर्स हिस्ट्री से रिलेटेड, जो कि आपके दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के अंडर आता है। उसका यूनिट 1 है रिकंस्ट्रक्टिंग एंशिएंट इंडियन हिस्ट्री। ये बीए ऑनर्स का फर्स्ट ईयर का सब्जेक्ट है और इस यूनिट के अंडर जो टॉपिक आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे वो है अर्ली इंडियन नोशंस ऑफ हिस्ट्री। आज मैं इसका आपको पार्ट वन में वीडियो प्रोवाइड करा रही हूँ। आने वाले टाइम में हम इसके और पार्ट्स भी देखेंगे। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। डिड अर्ली इंडियंस लैक अ सेंस ऑफ हिस्ट्री? It is often said that the first truly historical work produced in India was Kalhana Rajataragini, that is, River of Kings. This consists of 8 books, each called a tarang, that is, wave, and is composed in Sanskrit verse. The Rajataragini contains an account of the rulers of Kashmir from the earliest ones to those of the 12th century CE. The period of its author, Kalhana, was a Brahmin, the son of a minister, and he drew on a range of sources, monuments, coins, inscription, royal orders, manuscript, and his family members and his own recollections of recent times to write his history of Kashmir. He also attempted to explain past events but often ended up invoking fate. Nevertheless, the Rajat Ragini, with its awareness of evidence, interest in causation and sequential narrative, is recognizable as a work of history. However, it is a text of the early second millennium CE. When 18th or 19th century European scholars looked for histories of early India, they found very little that conformed to their idea of what a history should be. They concluded that early India was deficient in history writing. This lack was linked with Indian notions of time. Indian scales of time were regarded as fantastically large, and Indians were accused of subscribing to the view that time flows in cycle, according to which every period of time invariably returns, every event is repeated, and nothing is unique. And the theory of cyclical time was regarded as a hindrance to the development of a true linear historical sense. While nationalist histories developed in opposition to imperial frames, scholars like R.C. Majumdar nevertheless accepted the idea that history was relatively underdeveloped as a branch of early Indian literature. Now, next topic is what James Mill had to say about the chronology and ancient history of the Hindus. James Mill enormously influential. The History of British India was first published in 1817. It was used as a textbook at the East India College at Haileybury, close to London, where young men were trained before being posted to India. This is what Mill has to say at the beginning of the first chapter of the first volume of his 3-volume history. Root nations seem to derive a peculiar gratification from pretensions to a remote antiquity, as a boastful and turgid vanity distinguishes remarkably the Oriental nations. They have, in most instances, carried their claims extravagantly high. The present age of the world, according to the system of the Hindus, is distinguished into 4 grand periods denominated Yug. The first is the Satya Yug, comprehending 1 crore 7 lakh 28,000 years. The second, the Treta Yug, comprehending 1 crore 2 lakh 96,000 years. The third, the Dwapar Yug, including 8 lakh 64,000 years. and the fourth, the Kal Yuga, which will extend to 4,32,000 years. Of these period, the first three are expired, and in the year 1817 of the Christian era, 4,911 of the last. From the commencement, therefore, of the Satyayug to the present time is comprehended a space of 3 crore 8,92,911 years, the antiquity to which this people lay claim. Mill roundly condemns such Hindu statements, which are not only carried to the wildest pitch of extravagance but are utterly inconsistent, and pronounces that their wildness and inconsistency place them beyond the sober limits of truth and history. It is, however, possible to adopt a different approach. Romila Thapa makes a distinction between embedded history and externalized history. Embedded historical consciousness can only be extracted with effort, as in myth, epic, and genealogy. Externalized history, on the other hand, exhibit a more evident historical consciousness, as in chronicles of region and biographies of figures of authority. If we understand history as a mode of reflecting about the past, we can argue that a sense of history is present in a branch of early Indian literature in the Itihas Puran tradition. Even texts that invoke divine forces and narratives that are set in cosmological time embed within themselves a commentary on their present, while at the same time giving an account of the past. तो ये था आज मेरा 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 वीडियो। आज मैंने इस टॉपिक का आपको फर्स्ट पार्ट प्रोवाइड कराया है, और अगर आपको मेरा वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो प्लीज़ मेरे चैनल को लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, बेल आइकन को दबा दीजिए ताकि मैं जब भी कोई लेटेस्ट वीडियो डालूं तो उसकी नोटिफिकेशन आप तक पहुंच जाए। और अगर आपको इस टॉपिक के रिगार्डिंग या इग्नू के हिस्ट्री, जोग्राफ़ी, पॉलिटिकल साइंस, सोशोलॉजी, पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से रिलेटेड नोट्स चाहिए, अगर ग्रेजुएट या पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट लेवल के सॉल्व्ड असाइनमेंट चाहिए आपको डीयू के या इग्नू के, तो आप मैं नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में अपना व्हाट्सअप नंबर दे दूँगी, उस पर आप मुझे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं। आपको सिर्फ मैसेज करना है, कॉल नहीं करना है। मैं दोबारा से अपनी स्लाइड्स को स्क्रॉल कर देती हूँ ताकि आपको इजीली ये नोट्स विजिबल हो जाएं। तो आज के लिए बस इतना ही। नेक्स्ट वीडियो तक बाय।